diversification, given the new changes that have come upon and what you believe you will need to do. Now, business is also about the art of sacrifice. You don't necessarily want to do everything that you believe you potentially can do. As you look at the landscape today, are there boundaries to what you will diversify into, what you will change and reshape your way to be?
Yeah, I'll be candid here. So, firstly, let me preface this answer by saying for the last few years, 4-5 years, all I've been doing at Zerodha is investing and managing the money. I think on the business side, either Kailash or Nitin will be better versed to answer this particular question.
This pullback that you just kind of spoke about, was it, how long before you said that, okay, I'm kind of done with daily ops and I'm going to sort of step back? How easy or hard was it to step back? And did you have a detailed, long period of conversation before that happened?
No, it was.
But I think organic and natural. For a long time when we began, we needed the income from trading and investing so we could remain bootstrapped. We would make money investing and pay salaries and all of that till the business picked up. It was not so essential as the business scaled, and I had a lot more free time. And what I enjoy deeply, what I've enjoyed all my life is the investing, buying and selling element of things. So it, I think, kind of worked out for the best for everybody. And I try and help out as much as I can, if I can. Most often I can't, but I try. But yeah, going back to the diversification question, how regulations are today, not regulators. I think for many of these industries, say banking, because I took that example earlier, one must ask, why shouldn't there be more competition? If there are people like Zerodha who are willing to go out there, be more transparent, do everything that a bank is doing, an incumbent bank, in a cleaner manner, I think the question should be asked, why shouldn't there be 5 more banks? Why shouldn't there be 10 more banks?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't people who are able to more efficiently do price discovery in the banking ecosystem, why should they not be allowed to try? And for diversification in a lot of things, I think the answer will be that we would really like to go out and try and innovate and build new things, but how often are we truly able to by virtue of that? You want to add on top of that?
So, leave aside the bank because we don't know when and if that window will open.
Yeah.
But are there boundaries to the diversification that you foresee? I mean, are there Lakshman Rekhas that you believe you will not cross?
No, I mean, see, we started Rain Matter in 2016. And the idea was, anything which is not core competence, which is adjacent to us, as in we'll invest, partner, whatever. And that's what we're doing now. As in the AMC is a partnership with Small Case. Ditto, was an insurance company, is a partnership with the guys who brought FinShots. And something which is core competence, for example, the NBFC, which is only dealing with loan against securities. That's something that we are doing in-house. So essentially that, as in, there are no boundaries. The only boundary right now is the fact that SEBI has this regulation which doesn't allow us to invest off our books. Right? You can't, you can invest public markets, but you can't do private markets. So all the cash generated, it's not really of use. If
you should elaborate. You should speak about that.
Please do. Feel free.
No. Hopefully the regulations will change on this soon. And but the regulations state today that when a broker takes any of his prop capital and invests into any other business, any privately held business, outside of the stock market ecosystem, he can't do it. So that's
I
like
think
a
the
mega
irony with
restriction.
that is that also applies to charitable stuff, right? Like a foundation. If we were to take X amount of profit and put it in a foundation, is not necessarily legitimate under regulation.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll change soon.
So that's the ask of the regulator. But Kailash, from a diversification point of view, and Nitin just gave us some examples of the way that you're trying to diversify. I mean, how are you looking at this? Because since he comes to you for grounding and centering, what have you sort of set boundaries in terms of what you should do or shouldn't do?
Those are some of the philosophical disagreements that we sometimes have.
Between the two of you or between the three of you?
I think we have a lot of disagreements. We have fewer disagreements. But that's how it should be. There should be philosophical disagreements.
Absolutely.
It's not something this is not something I understand really well. I have a basic sense of what diversification means to be. I have a logical sense of how an organization like Zerodha can diversify. But this is something Nitin and Nikhil understand deep in their DNA. I'm not a finance markets person in that sense, right? But the Rainmatter approach has been amazing. We've ended up creating adjacent entire ecosystems that didn't even exist in the last 6 to 7 years by virtue of small little investments. Again, that was a philosophical call. There's this syndrome, not built here syndrome.
Yeah.
If you don't do it yourself, it's not legit. But we didn't have that. We realized that we couldn't build everything. So we should enable people who build it and, be friends with them, partners. Yeah. That has worked out really well.
Since you talked about the future, and let's talk about the future in the context of what everybody is talking about, AI. So let's get down to it, and I'll start with you, because I know that you believe, and I think I tend to agree with you, that some of it has been misguided assumptions about what it could potentially do or how soon or whatever. Some of it you also believe is plain intellectual dishonesty in the claims that are being made by many, and I'm not talking in the Indian context, but in general at this point in time. I mean, everyone is AI's expertise at your fingertips, or AI first, and so on and so forth. Today, as you look at your business as well as you look at the adjacent ecosystem, what do you make of this?
Can I add something before
Yes,
it starts?
please.
So Kailash was one of the youngest people to have a PhD in artificial intelligence.
I know. What was it? Hebbian something. What was it? I remember Hebbian. I've forgotten the rest of it. What was it?
Hebbian cell assemblies.
That's correct. Hebbian cell assemblies. Okay, I have no idea what that means.
There is insane amounts of hype. And the moment there are financial incentives attached to anything, AI was an academic dream 60, 70, 80 years ago, and it's evolved into business today. And there is absolutely insane amounts of hype, not just in India, globally. But beneath the hype lies legit breakthroughs that have happened in the last 2-3 years. These large language models that all of us use in some form or the other daily now, these breakthroughs have come in the last 2-3 years. And these breakthroughs are legit. Doesn't mean that everything that is said out there is legit. So between the hype, froth and frenzy, legitimate use cases. And at Zerodha, we've started to use some of these things to solve internal problems. Something that a lot of tedium that 100 people were dealing with, we have one small little open source AI system running on one server.
You're the big open source guy, right? The big believer. Only open source, yeah.
So this one system that costs us nothing to run is saving 100 people thousands and thousands of hours of work every month. And it's an open source breakthrough. It's commoditized. Now you can have the most powerful AI models, let's say large language models, at your fingertips at zero cost. You just need to have that tech know-how to use it. So it's been commoditized to such a large extent. When anybody says we are powered by AI, you have to take it with a giant sack of salt, because an 18-year-old teenager,
how giant?
Big, an 18-year-old teenager who's tech savvy can start using these things. You can build a business out of it, tool out of it in no time. So it's commoditized to death already, and it's only been 3 years. The specific set of breakthroughs.
You've had a difficult 12 months, and what has been the mechanism to try and cope with this? I mean, I would imagine the first few days or weeks, I don't know, would have been, why me? I mean, I did all of this stuff, right? I mean, health and being in the gym and all of that. I mean, how did this happen to me? Are you past that?
No, I'm past that. I mean, like the thing is us searching for answer, and there's no answer to that. As in, the doctors said that it could be any one of the reasons, I mean, for the stroke, which is but the most logical seems to be that that I had COVID, and during COVID, whatever went wrong. So that probably was the reason.
Has it reshaped the way that you look at life, or has it reshaped the way that you look at work, relationships?
Yeah, I mean, Nikhil has been trying very hard to get me and Seema to kind of socialize. So
you're the more social one, clearly, in this relationship.
Yeah, I've been trying genuinely.
Yeah,
I took them out on a double date and made them meet a new couple last night, and then I gave them each other's numbers. I said, now you have to message.
But you don't. I mean, it's just not something that you enjoy, or
no, I mean, I don't. I mean, probably it's I haven't met the right kind of people or something like that, So, but in terms of relationship, in terms of time, I mean, I had a lot of time to sit and think about it. No, I don't know. I like my solo time, So I like my time alone and with the family and etc. But I don't think I can. If I'm trying to be social, it'll be very anti me, So it won't be me.
So he hasn't managed to swing you into his camp yet.
No, definitely not.
I don't think he needs to swing, but I feel like he has to take baby steps. He took one last night.
He couldn't sleep last night
because of the stress of going out. So he has to take baby steps in socializing. What do you think that he needs to do? What baby steps does he need to take? My God, I can see the two of you are waiting to jump into this conversation. Okay, Kailash, you want to start first? You'll refrain. Why?
I'll refrain from sharing everything I'd like to share.
No, please share something. Please share something.
Say something. If you say there is so much and don't say anything,
I know
imagination is the worst.
Spare him the imagination.
So I think Nitin is on one extreme. Nikhil is on the other. He's a social animal. Maybe you can be social, but you don't have to be an animal.
That's the headline. Nikhil Kamath, social animal.
But the truth of the matter is, I live...
Are they getting you wrong? Or
No. So I live alone.
Yeah.
So I will have periods of time for 10 days, 15 days where I don't meet a human. But on the 16th day, I have like 20 friends. I want to meet all 20 of them. And this happens in my life on repeat.
Okay. So now Kailash. Let's turn to Kailash. You can start first, Nick.
Let's not.
No, he's like to me, if I had a daughter, he would be the perfect
the perfect groom.
Perfect, I can't find anything that he
the suitable boy.
I mean, one bit which he has to improve on is he gets affected. Anxiety, So
what makes you anxious?
Everything. The traffic, climate change, global warming, people doing things that they shouldn't be doing. It's ingrained, and I've struggled with it for a very long period. But I think over the last few years, I've been able to understand and manage it. And I've given both of them a lot of anxiety-induced headaches in the past, but it's come down significantly.
It has come down
significantly.
Well, I hope you find the answers that you're each seeking, and I hope that you continue to build the business that I know that you're deeply passionate about, and a business that you're deeply in love with, and continue to be in love with. But many thanks for joining us here on Young Turks Reloaded to the next 14, 25, and whatever else is beyond that. But appreciate you joining us here on the program. That's it then on this edition of Young Turks Reloaded. From all of us here on the show for now, goodbye. Thanks for watching. We're going to be back again on CNBC TV 18 with a lot more.